sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our hey. Ride him. My mother always say, when you find a donkey, ride it. Who's donkey? Man, come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand, but I can fix this. I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our They're selling our country. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our I get everybody sell some every day. Giddy up. Come on. Whoa, let's go. Who's it gonna be again? They're selling one island. They won't keep what can be left for you and me. Is this the example? What's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride or go selling too? Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling They're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling They're selling our country, yes. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling
Whoa, girls, we out doing
So, Shanique, first of all, you got to look from where you were to know where you're going. In Eleuthera, We've had this water issue for decades, for a long time. Prior to 2021, the Central Eleuthera plant the contract was extended to 2031.
What?
The contract for North Eleuthera was
You mean this the same contract with Aqua Design that the former administration had issues with, and it was extended to about 10 years?
Not only that, the one for North Eleuthera was extended to 2035.
Man, you know, this got to be a joke, because who in bed but who?
So, well, I can't speak to that, but I mean, so you got to know the outline of everything. Some of the stuff, you know, people really don't know. So a week before election, because of they cut off water prior to the general election, they signed a new contract a week prior to the election in 2020. So, Shanique, first of all, you got to look from where you were to know where you're going. Issue for decades, for a long time. Prior to 2021, Central Eleuthera plant the contract was extended to 2031.
What?
The contract for North Eleuthera.
From the early 30s, the Bahamas was in the salt mining industry. The Bahamas is one of the largest salt to the United States of America. During the winter time in Canada to de-ice. It has more than just the medicinal purposes. It's now called solo salt. Yes, the salt out of the Bahamas is the purest in the world. It is now being used to produce clean energy in nuclear plants, submarines, and yes, even on the space shuttle. There are energy plants all around the world using the salt to produce clean energy. Why are we not doing it here in the Bahamas? The video that you're looking at now, it's a substance that is found in the Bahamas that can revolutionize the oil industry. It's a oxalitic sand that is found nowhere in the world. This salt or sand can be dipped out of the water and put into your engine, and you will never have to change the oil again. It's clean energy. Look at how it sticks to your hand, and it is so solidic. When you shake it, it turns to oil. This will revolutionize the oil industry. This is the reason why foreign entities are here in the Bahamas. Or are we still caught up in the Stafford Sands era, which is tourism? There are thousands of flights going over the Bahamas every day, going to other destinations. Why are they flying over us? Could it be that we are too expensive and we do not own the tourist industry anymore? Thousands of flights going to a country that has advisories of dengue fever, crime, prostitution, lack of clean drinking water. I say to you, this is the time for us to move away from the tourist industry. There is a war coming for the minerals that are found right here in the Bahamas. And if we don't do something about it, the WTO will take it all away under something called a no discrimination law. There, what you're looking at is flights flying over the Bahamas by the hundreds, thousands of flights going to the DR. Poverty is at the highest in the DR. They work for less than $5 a week. You go to Jamaica dollar is less than 1 US penny. Cancun, their salary there is $1 per hour. How are we going to compete with a tourist destination where they have cheap labor and obedient servants? I say to you again, my Bahamian brothers and sisters, we are the adults of this day. Remember this, there is nothing new under the sun. We are the children of Israel, the promised land we live in. But it's time for us to possess the land and the wealth and make it common among all men. for we all were created equal in the sight of God. We shall do this together. Going forward, the children behind us will look and say, we are proud of this generation of the 21st century that got us right. We will do this. There is time. The flag that has united us, our Constitution that binds us together, will keep us. And with God's help, we will stand victorious in His name. My name is Kendall Kohlberg.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lincoln Bain, and we are live in Nassau, the Bahamas, and it is Sunday, the 28th of July, 2024. And thank you for tuning in. As always, I love spending my Sunday evenings with you. Today, I had to change the time. I humbly apologize because we went to celebrate along with Bishop Simeon Hall, who is celebrating 60 years in ministry and also 54 years of marriage. And so around the time I normally go live, he was having a special service and we wanted to go there and support him. So myself and the COI team, our chairman, Charlotte Green, our deputy leader, Veronica McGyver, our shadow minister for national security, Ms. Maria Daxon, and several others went to this church service to support Bishop Simeon Hall. Bishop Simeon Hall was my vice principal at Prince William's High School, and so he's contributed greatly to things that I've been doing. Every so often, since I became an activist, he would call me up and say, Lincoln, you should do it like this, do it like that. You know, give me a fatherly advice or big uncle advice. and always contributes to make sure that we're on the right track. So we just want to thank Bishop Paul for all of the contributions that he's made to me and many others. All right. So you know what to do when you get in here. You got to make the algorithm know that this is important. So do your ad highlight and your ad followers, and make sure you share, so that the algorithm knows that this is important, so that we can get this out. Of course, they are blocking our lives, some people get notifications, etc. So only probably about 1% of probably about 1% of our viewers get the notifications. So we have over 30,000, probably 35,000 or something like that followers, and only about 1% of them will get the notification when they go live. And some people have to stop the notifications and then do it again, and then that'll cause you to start getting again. All right. So stopping the notification and then doing it again will cause you to be able to get it again in some instances. All right. So let me see you doing your ad follows, and I highlight. All right. We're gonna have a continued conversation about Eleuthera. I got some more to talk about. Water and Sewerage actually commented on the videos that we put out there, the video that we did. So I want to address that. I'm going to address that thoroughly. And we want to talk about Clay Sweeting and his little secret that he has been keeping from the Bain public, which we think is contributing to the fact, theoretically, the fact that they don't have good water in, or they don't have good water service in that island. We think it's disgraceful. So we'll get to that in a minute. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure put your ad followers, your ad highlight, etc. And then you can let me know where you're broadcasting from. We're not going to be long tonight. We're gonna try to go a little over an hour. But we're gonna let me know where you're broadcasting from. Let me know where you are, which constituency you're in. If you're outside of the country, what city you're in, let me know. Let me see you. Let me see where you are. Let the Bahamian people see that you are everywhere, that we are all over in every constituency and all over the world. Let them see you. Let them see you. All right. So let me know where you're broadcasting from. All right. Okay. Someone just made a suggestion. I was looking at the screen actually. Someone says, then can you make a show where it's just question and answers from social media, not the call-ins? Yes, I will do that. Know when I'll do that? Today. All right. I actually have the text up in front of me. I don't always have that based on how we're broadcast. Sometimes they move too fast, and that's why I take the call-ins. And also, I want to give persons who have questions about our platform, about me as a leader, or about anything to do with the COI, the chance to call in and express their concerns, their questions, etc. So we make ourselves available to the Bahamian public every single week. No other leader in this country does that. And so there are some naysayers out there. We want to give them a chance instead of going and hiding behind fake profiles in WhatsApp groups or on Facebook somewhere. If you believe that something doesn't add up, something we're saying is wrong, or that we can't prove anything we're saying, just call in. And we put ourselves out there every single week. They will go on social media and they'll have all this stuff to say, whatever Fred Mitchell told them to say, particularly and they would, when it's time to come and challenge, they don't, because they need to either be able to Google, have access to Google to quickly be able to respond, which they can do, or they need Mitchell telling them what to say. So that's going to be difficult unless they're in the room with him. And so our Sundays are for that. So today I will pay attention to text, but just bear in mind that while I'm talking, I won't be able to read the text while I'm talking. So if you see me talking and I didn't see your question or your comment, I will get right back to it. Or sometimes I won't be able to scroll back to it because there's so much, but you can just put it back in there until I see it. All right. Kind of like a lottery system. Just make sure when I'm looking for the next question, yours comes up. All right. So that I'll do that today, and I'll try to do that moving forward to make sure that the commenters are able to get in there. But at the same time, you can also call in once I open the line. It's open yet, so just give me a chance to touch on some things I have to touch on. I'm going to open the lines, and you're going to be able to call via WhatsApp or via regular cell. Okay. WhatsApp or regular cell, and that is 803-5995. 803-5995 will be the number. But I'll put it up when it's time to get there. So let's start here, and then we'll get to water and sewage. Ladies and gentlemen, we went to do our investigations. We went to do some thorough investigations in Eleuthera. We wanted to know what was going on. How could it be that we're having water problems for all this time and no one is fixing it? I'll get to the water problem, the specifics, because they did respond. Water and sewage did respond. And I think that their response was nonsensical. All right. And they responded by saying that they wanted to clear up some misinformation, but they didn't show it or say where the misinformation was, or they didn't refute the information. So we don't know what they're talking about, but we're going to read their statement and we're going to let you hear it. And you could compare it in the video that you saw us do, and then you can say what the misinformation was, if it was there, or they're just trying to trick the Bahamian people again. All right. So here we go. I want you to video that I'm about to play for you. There's some people who are disturbed about what's going on in these family islands. The government wants to make you feel that everyone is happy and everyone is hunky-dory and that everything is going good. But a lot of people are disturbed that their water is constantly going off. I'm in some groups where people are complaining all the time about Eleuthera in specific. And so the neighbor, Sweeting, his next door neighbor, decided to do a video of his part of his house so you can see why he feels the water isn't working properly. And the fact that they didn't run the water down this street, straight to the end of the street, where Clay Sweden actually lives, and that Clay Sweden can't get government water where he lives in North Eleuthera. He can't, that's Russell Island, but he can't get water where he lives because they didn't run it down there, and he's the Minister of Works. And the reason he doesn't care is because of what you're about to see. This.
From the road, and this is Clay Sweeting right here. This is why I have the problem. It's Clay Sweeting. That's his osmosis system he put so he didn't have to run water down here to me for the last 25.
That right there that you're looking at, that's Clay Sweden's neighbor talking. That is Clay Sweden's reverse osmosis system. And because he has his own reverse osmosis system, he can purify his own water. And so he doesn't need water from the government because he can desalinate the water himself. And so as far as his neighbor is concerned, Clay Sweden couldn't care less whether the water is functioning properly or not because he is not on the government water. This is his desalination machine right here, device. And so he gets his own water, and he doesn't even have access to government water where he is. He, of course, according to his neighbor, doesn't care. I'm going to play this for you again. Let me move the comments. You can see this good and big and clear. And because this is serious what politicians put the people through in this country. I'll stop my, move my video so you can see this properly. Let me just share it there. Let me see. Yeah, so let me just play this for you again.
And this is them from the road. And this is Clay Sweeting right here. This is why I have the problem. It's Clay Sweeting. That's his osmosis system he put so he didn't have to run water down here to me for the last 25, 30 years.
You heard the man say? So you don't even have to run water down there. It's Clay Sweeting on the government water. So
and this is them from the
I want
road.
you to see this again. The rusty water that is going to your homes, Clay Sweden is not a victim of the rusty water. Clay Sweden don't have to worry about the rusty water like you do. Yeah. And so according to his neighbors, you think he worried about if that water rusty? You think he worried about if you get water or not? He has his own desalination system. And what is so curious about that, let me make sure I put it on the screen while I'm talking so you can see it. What is so curious about that is because someone also brought this problem up that they're having in Auckland and Crooked Island. They're having the same water problems. And they mentioned it in the last, and I have audio recordings of it. They mentioned it in the last PLP council meeting. And they brought it up, and Fred's response, he's the chairman, so they were talking to him. His response was sickening. Fred would just say, everyone get your own reverse osmosis system. Hold on. We pay in your this. Y'all promised to provide us with proper utilities before y'all came in. Even y'all teased us with free electricity. And now you're saying, don't ask you for nothing. Get your own system. If you need me to play that, I can play that. That's the attitude that these fellas have. I'm going to play this for you. This is Clay Sweden's dirty little secret that I was talking about. You see? And so the public doesn't know that the Minister of Works isn't connected to government water. He has his own reverse osmosis system according to his neighbor. And so he couldn't care less if you're getting rusty water, if you're getting smelly water, or whatever you're getting.
And this is them from the road. And this is Clay Sweeting right here. This is why I have the problem. It's clay breathing. That's his osmosis system he put so he didn't have to run water down here to me for the last 25, 30 years.
Wow. Sometimes I weep for the Bahamian people, the amount of suffering we are asked to endure by the PLP and the FNM. It is. And there are people who just endorse it. They just love it. The politicians don't have to care about you because they don't live in the same world that you live in. Someone say we want our MPs to be rich, we want the prime minister to be rich, and we want this and that. The problem is they don't feel what you feel. They don't have to go to the hospitals you have to. Why should they fix the hospital when them and their children can jump on the plane and go to the hospital anywhere in the world? Why should they fix it? Why should they fix the educational system when their children can get educated in either the best private schools here or anywhere in the world, including boarding schools? Why should they worry about the education system? Why should they worry about the potholes in the road when you gave them the car that they're driving in? Why should they worry about the price of gas when you pay for their gas? Think about that. We need a better system where we, the people, and this is government, we, the people, are running our own cities. You know why? You can fix the road. Why? Because you got to ride on that road. You can fix the school because your children got to go to the school. Make sense? Okay, so that is the dirty little secret of clay sweetening that I was talking about. I think it's shameful that, bro, it's 3 years, 3 whole years. And after all the partying and balling, what they spent on one trip, they spent $1.5 million on the trip to England. They even carried Pintard. Pintard jumped on the plane with them. And he didn't have to go because prime ministers around the world didn't go. Even the prime minister of Jamaica didn't go, even though he was invited. Pintard, after complaining about all the money that Brave Davis and them are spending, Pintard jumping in with Pintard said, "Oh, Brave spending too much money, flying, always flying. Him and Fred always flying." And Brave said, "Hey, come go to us." Said, "Oh, yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, boss. I can come." And that's what Pintard did. And jumped on the plane with them to go to England. And put on his best suit, got a big dress with a hat with his wife that we paid for, and flew to England on our money. That $1.5 million that they spent, I believe it was more, but that's what they said, could have bought 3 of the tanks that Eleuthera needs. One of those tanks is about $500,000. Trip. So Bahamas, I want you to understand that it's not that they don't have the money. They keep telling you whenever it's something to do with a benefit or money, etc. for Bahamians, oh, you gotta be patient. Oh, you gotta wait. Oh, you can't rush them. They can get to it. But whenever it's time for them to spend money and ball and live their best life, they can find the money anytime they want. Minister was saying, "Oh, the country broke. We ain't got no money." Then all of a sudden, he wanted to buy the hotel in Grand Bahama. Oh, $60 million. Boom. Here it is. They can only not find money for the people. So while they're traveling and paying consultants on money, that simple fix, that simple of the water, it's a very simple fix. All they needed was a tank, for Christ's sake. Just a tank. Aqua Designs was they were taking the water from a reservoir, from a well, sucking it up, purifying it in the reverse osmosis or the desalination, and sending it to the tank. But the problem is the tank is rusty, and the tanks had holes. We showed you all of this, and so the water was wasting. Now I'm going to show you. The statements by Water and Sewerage. Make sure you're sitting down for this. Let me see if I could. I'm going to pull it right up on Facebook. But make sure you're sitting down. I don't want to be responsible for no one falling out, either laughing or crying when they see this. Because they have to really take us for the Kong to put something like this out to the Bain people. So I'm just pulling it up so I can go on there now. Let me see how fast we get that. So we'll start there. Okay, so I'm going to go to the page. I'm going to share my screen. So what you'll be seeing is Facebook. I'm going to share my screen, my Facebook screen. So their response. I mean, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. All right, let me just share the screen. Give me 1 sec. This is comedy beyond belief. Oh God. There's something else I want to share first. Before I show you that, I want to show you something powerful. Give me 1 sec. Let me pull this up for you. Before we go there, because it's on the point that we're talking about the politicians. Give me 1 sec. Let me just scroll there. Okay, almost there. There we go. So be patient with me for 1 sec. I'm almost there. Okay, here we are. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. So before I show you water and sewerage thing, I want to show you why politicians don't really care about y'all. All right. And again, as always, you can take it or leave it. Okay, where are we? Okay, here we are. Okay, so all right, let's share the screen window. All right, here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at now is Google Maps. This Google Maps screen is showing the western side of the Bahamas. And I just want you to see this because I could pull up a lot of their houses and you'll be able to see what's going on. But while you were getting bad electricity wasn't staying on, etc., and you're paying high electricity bills, I'm zooming in. Let's see, this is Bahama. This way they just cleared out Malia. And this is when you get to the roundabout and you're headed east on the roundabout, west on the roundabout. And I'm about to show you the home of Perry Gladstone Christie. And so on here is the home of Perry Gladstone Christie. Two of these compounds, all of this is his. He's there and his family is in the next one, his wife family. And so in the back of the compound, she has a pool in his house. Nice, man. You know, we paid for all of that. And so behind this is a whole nice array of solar panels that was there from about 2012. All right. And so this is a nice array of, this looks like what, 18 to 36 solar panels powering his house. So when you're stressed out, you're hot, you're sweaty, your light bill's high, you see what he got? By us. Not literally. This is money, I guess, earned from us. But I want you to know that these politicians get paid by us and we pay them handsomely. So they're not doing their working for you because you're paying for their lifestyle. And so here it is. So they worry when they live in a different world from you. And that's one of the things I wanted you to see. Now I'm going to share with you this nonsensical statement from Water and Sewerage. I want to see how active they got all of a sudden. All of a sudden, man, listen, man, they were all out responding. Just give me a sec, waiting for it to come up. They were all out responding to Lincoln Bain. I think this is it. Yep, that'll do. So here's Water and Sewerage payment page. And the things I'm saying is not against the workers, etc., at Water and Sewerage, but the government system that is so shameful. All right. So I'm scrolling on their page. I'm sure you can see it. Look at what they're doing now. 3 days ago, we're seeking Bahamian-owned desalination contracts for an exciting project at the naval base in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. Interested in designing, building, owning, operating, and transferring a state-of-the-art desalination plant. Oh, wow. Submit your EOI by July 31st. You got a couple days. So obviously they already had someone interested because they posted this 3 days ago. 3 days ago was, I guess, the 25th. So the 25th, they posted this to say you have until the 31st to submit your proposals. So that's about 7 days, which is ridiculous. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That's 6 days. And that's ridiculous. That means, listen, we already have someone. You know, no one else could put a plan together this fast. And so we just put this through, and then we could say we gave you notification, and then we'll give it to you. And so here it is. Now all of a sudden, Aqua Designs is doing it, and now they're looking for someone else to do it. Interesting. We're going to see which crew needs that go to. And so here they were responding to different things that we were saying. This is the last thing. I should have started with that statement, but I'll start with the last thing. Rock Sound customers, yesterday around 4:30 p.m., our team identified a major leak on the water main between Tarpon Bay and Rock Sound, impacting water services, etc. All right, and they're saying they fixed it. Oh, all of a sudden, they're making these announcements since we've been there. So they miraculously found a water leak, and and they're fixing it. Eleuthera ongoing projects. Wow! All of a sudden, they are outlining the different ongoing projects. The old storage tank with minor leaks. Oh my God, minor leaks with an S. The old storage tank with minor leaks is being phased out. We are installing new tanks and connecting them. New tanks. I saw one new tank there. Anyway, I'll continue. Connect them to the system. Once complete, the old will be demolished, ensuring a more robust infrastructure. So, wow. And people were there asking, is there any update on the water outage in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, et cetera, et cetera? Eleuthera ongoing projects. So now they're showing the desalination plant improvements. We're enhancing our desalination plant to better serve central Eleuthera. New installation repairs are boosting our water product capacity, ensuring reliable supply for everyone. Okay. And so they're showing the same tank that we showed you. But I guess they show, I don't know, they're showing the same tank several times. Is that what's happening? The corporation has constructed a new 1 million imperial gallon glass-coated steel tank and a 500 imperial module tank bladder tank facility. All right. So I guess they're saying that they are putting some bladder thing in one of the old tanks, maybe. I don't know, because I see one tank being built there, not two tanks. And so we'll, oh God, but they're not explaining anything. Myth versus fact, storage tank safety. So now this is in response to us. Myth versus fact, storage tank safety. Jesus. Y'all ready for this? Y'all sitting now? Come on, the safety of the storage tanks now. Let me just put this up here so I can see some of your comments as we talk about this important matter. Now this is in response to us. Myth. So here we go. So let me make sure, see how big this is for y'all. Okay, I'm going to make this bigger so y'all can see this good. That ain't big enough. All right, sorry about that. I'm going to make it big. All right. Myth versus fact. Storage tank safety, just 4 days ago, water and sewage. It says the old storage tank is myth, they said. This is a myth. They said myth. The old storage tank is unhealthy and storage. And then they said fact. Our dated tank is a temporary means to continue operations while we commission new permanent infrastructure. Hold on, wait. Your dated tank, you mean the old rusty tank, is a temporary means. That's not temporary. Temporary is Jesus. Temporary is not something that has been there for, I don't know how long, but 100 years. Something there for 100 years is not something temporary. Temporary is if, okay, the tank's been bad, we're going to take this storage tank, mobile storage tank, and put it there temporarily, and then we're going to build a proper facility and then replace the temporary storage tank. That is not temporary. That has been there for probably 100 years. Don't hold me to that. I don't know exactly how long it's been there, but I'm sure the UBP put that up. So the outdated tank is a temporary means to continue operations while we commission new permanent infrastructure. The tank has lining that ensures the water doesn't come in metal. Jesus, someone lying. Doesn't come into contact with the metal interior, retaining water quality and ensuring your safety. Your water quality is retained and remains our top priority. Now it's time for Bill Nye, the science guy. They say the tank has a lining that ensures the water doesn't come into contact with the metal. Okay, I got to open up another page here for you. So this is a Bill Nye, the science guy thing here. Okay, let's look at something. Let's look at something. Okay, here we go. We got to go back in time. Let's jump in the time machine with me for a second, and let's go back in time. All right. Where are we? Okay, that's the shanty town. Okay, that's the dinner. Okay, here we are. So here, this is the live that we had that they're talking about. Now, let's see if we can go straight to where the tanks were. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Come on, go back. Okay, just waiting for you to go back a little bit. Just bear with me. Okay, this right here. All right, do you see what's happening there? That's water spewing out of the tank. And they admit that there are several leaks. We showed you one leak. Look, that's water shooting in front of me. Now, this is the science that I want to talk to you about. Okay, let's say you have a cup and the cup has a leak. And so you take a plastic bag and put it in that cup, right? Let's just say, if the plastic bag is safe and stops the water from getting into contact with the cup, how could the water get through the plastic bag and through the cup to get outside? So if you have a lining inside that tank, how the water getting through the lining to get to that metal to get out? Obviously, they're lying, or they have some more explaining to do, at the least. So the lie they told, as you can see here, the tank has a lining that ensures the water doesn't come into contact with the metal. That looked like water coming into contact with the metal with me and getting out. So someone needs to correct me on that. If I'm wrong, lying or not explaining it properly. But someone say maybe their water bag bursts, because that's not making any sense. But this is, they said your water quality is retained and remains our top priority. Now here's what this is another problem. All right. If the water is so safe, all right, if the water is is so safe, if the water is so safe, how is it that people are experiencing rusty water in their homes? So since this is myth and fact, can they please explain to me, anyone at Water and Sewerage, maybe you're watching this, if the water is, just 1 second while I look y'all in your eyes and talk to y'all. Someone please explain this to me, right? If the water is safe like they're saying, and the water isn't coming into contact with those rusty metal tanks, someone please explain to me, because it might be of my pay grade or understanding. Explain to me how people are complaining of rusty water coming into their house. Anyone? I'm looking at the comments. Someone please tell me. Someone please explain that to me. This is very important. This is of national importance. Do we believe them? Do we believe Clay Sweeten and them who are putting out these lies? You know, I committed to telling the people, the Bain people, the truth. And some people say, you know, it's throwing mud, it's dirty laundry, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, we're not dealing with the private lives of, make this clear. I couldn't care less who the politicians are sleeping with, who they do business with, any of their private stuff. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even care who they ripped off personally. I don't care about nothing about their personal lives. But I care about the fact that we are paying you to give us water and electricity, and we can't get it. And then on top of that, you are lying to us. Let me show you something. Here. You see that? One of them is regular water. All right? It's about a quarter full. One is regular water. The other, water from the tap. This is in Eleuthera. The other is water from the tap. We were going to put water in the car, in the vehicle. And that water was so rusty, we said, no, we can't put that in the car. We better go buy coolant. Look at that. I can share this on social media. Y'all, please, for God's sake, this is not a game. This is people's lives. You see, my Facebook is freeze. Okay, it's back up. This is people's lives. Look at them. The one on the left on my screen, I don't know how it looks to you, is the water out of the kitchen sink. And the other one is regular water. Red cap is the water from the tap. The white cap is regular water. So if you have a lining on that, how is it that the water is still touching the metal? That don't look like rust that comes from plastic or whatever your lining is. That's Eleuthera pure. That's it. Jesus. Someone said it looked like apple juice. Jesus. So I'm gonna go back to let me go and pull up their statement again. See, because you kill evil with the truth. I mean, it's cancer water. Yep. Good old bottle. They're making you pay for it. Remember, you're paying for that. That's not charity. You are paying for that. Not only are you paying the members of Parliament to give you good water, you're also paying for the water. Okay, so that's the water that has the lining. And they say we're committed to providing the highest water. So they had hashtag myth busting, hashtag water safety, hashtag infrastructure, Eleuthera, Hashtag WSC. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's move on from there. Because Jesus. These people, God, you're sitting your soul. Myth versus fact. All right. So that's them. They put this in a decorated because they believe if you make stuff look big, people could just believe you. Yeah, man, someone had that. And they did some pretty graphics, so it must be true. It must be true. Government engagement and transparency. All right. They're trying to say all of y'all to tell you your concerns, so y'all better sit down and be quiet. They saying that they did not have a meeting and they didn't talk to y'all. Government engagement in Eleuthera. Bahamas water and sewage, ongoing leak detection repairs. They saying leaks happen, especially if you have one tank sent to UB and you do no maintenance to it. That's not an accident. That is lack of maintenance. That's not an accident. That's not a car ran into the metal tank and cause it to happen. That's not a lightning strike. The tank can burst it open. That's not leaks happen. Let's keep going. Temporary solutions for lasting improvement. They're saying again, this was again 4 days ago, about this temporary tank. All right. That was there for 100 years. Again, don't hold me to the 100 years. I don't really know how long it was there. All right. Understanding water source. Okay, so up on something. They said, did you know the water we extract from the Naval Bay site is salty seawater from 150 feet below the surface? The water does not interact with the freshwater aquifer, which is above the seawater aquifer. So apparently they drill through the freshwater aquifer and then go down below to the seawater aquifer and somehow get it back up without touching one of the decks. But I'll leave that because I'm not an expert. I wanted to make sure we know that it's salt. We don't care what water it is. We don't care if the water is salt water or fresh water. All we want is the fresh water. We don't care if you all got it from 150 feet or 100,000 feet. We want the water that we are paying for. That's all we want. So enough of the distractions. Because I talked about the desalination and they're talking about salinity and they're talking about I said that they're getting it from a well. So they want just you to know that the well is salty. So what? And the well is extra deep. Oh my God. Setting the record straight on go through a recent, and this is the one that they put out there, right? They put it in the tab, they put it in this nice, beautiful graphic right here. But let's let them set the record straight. And so we're going to give them a chance to have their word. 5 days ago, setting the record straight in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. Recently, misinformation has been circulating about our operations on Naval Base site. We want to assure our valued, it's a misinformation, right? Our valued people of Eleuthera that the Water and Sewage Corporation remains committed to transparency and excellence service. Here are the facts. The water extracted is salty seawater, not interfering with the freshwater sources. We don't care. Number two, old water storage tanks are in place while new infrastructure is being commissioned. Does that make sense to anyone here? Of course, the old water tanks are in place, Captain Obvious. Of course they're in place. Last 100 years. Obviously, they're going to be there until you put new water tanks there. I mean, what are you saying here? Can you please help someone understand this? Jesus. Number three, leak detection and repairs are ongoing priorities for us. Okay, but I thought it was misinformation. We haven't seen any misinformation yet. in our live, we showed the new tank, said they're building a new tank, and that we were informed it's going to take, by the builders, that is going to take another month, another 4 weeks to complete, which we know they never complete on time. And so we made all of that clear. So where's the myth? And where to see the misinformation? Don't see any yet. Number 3, leak detection ongoing priorities for us. Where's the misinformation? You're admitting that there are leaks, and it is a major problem. Number 4, government officials held a town hall in June to address community concerns. I'm still not seeing the misinformation. 5, a new 1 million gallon tank is nearly complete with final pipe work in progress. We showed that on our live. We said that. Information. 6, we've released detailed updates on the desalination plant improvements. We continue to work closely with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Works and Family and Affairs and major infrastructure projects. Stay tuned for further. Okay, they said that they want to stop misinformation. Where's the misinformation? Someone online help me with that, please. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Can someone show me where the misinformation is that they clear up? I don't get it. Jesus. All right. Okay, let me look at this big document they have. Okay, let's read this. The Water and Sewage Corporation wishes to address recent misinformation disseminated via social media by an individual attempting to mislead the public about our operations in their naval base. I wonder who that could have been. Attempting to misleading the public. The facts are as follows. Water source and salinity. The water extracted from the desalination plant supply wells is salty seawater, sourced from more than 200 feet below the surface. Hold on now. We got you. Because previously y'all said 150 feet. Now y'all are saying more than 150 feet. You see, when you tell lies, you have to remember what you said. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but previously y'all said 150 feet. We just read that. Now it's sourced from more than 200 feet. The water is a salinity level higher than that of seawater found on the beach and does not interact with freshwater lands and aquifer. No one questioned that. We just said that the water was coming from wells on the ground. Y'all were doing it through reverse osmosis or desalination, and not y'all aqua design tanks. But any misinformation, the only misinformation I see so is Water and Sewage lying. First they said it was from 150 feet. Now it's more than 200 feet below the surface. That's a difference of at least more than a 5-story building in terms of depth going down. So that ain't no just misspeaking, because 50 feet, that's like 5 stories. All right? We don't have a lot of 5-story buildings. And so they say more than 5 stories down. That's the difference in the first statement and this statement. When they're panicking and they just start lies to deceive the people. Okay, let's keep going. Old water storage tank. As the corporation has shared in several prior communications, the corporation, with the funding of the government, has constructed a new 1 million imperial gallon glass-coated steel tank and a new 500,000 imperial gallon module tank, in other words, a bladder tank, at the naval base facility. Works are now actively in progress on site to install the permanent pipe work for these tanks, connecting them to the desalination plant and pumping station. An old steel storage tank, which minor leaks. Some minor leaks. The leaks ain't minor. But let's keep going. They have a lining in it. How does it have minor leaks? It will be taken out of service as previously shared. In due course, all 4 of the old steel tanks on the site will be demolished and discarded. Okay. We still see no misinformation. Number 3, leak detection and repairs. Leaks in a water transmission and distribution system are a normal occurrence in man-made infrastructure. We continue to conduct leak campaigns on all 4 of our on all of our infrastructure, and that's around the Bahamas. And as part of our capital works planning, the corporation, with the support of the Ministry of Finance, is actively negotiating a major capital works program for the corporation. Hold on, wait. Y'all are spending $1 million on a road in Eleuthera. 160, and y'all haven't put something in there to run water everywhere that needs to be run in Eleuthera. Y'all are now actively negotiating major capital works program. So it went from $100 million road program to $160 million, and this ain't the piping yet. So when y'all finish doing the road, then y'all going to put down pipes? Bahamas, listen to me carefully. They are doing the road. They've started already. We have some videos. I don't have time to play all these videos today. All right? They are doing the road. They've already started. And they're going to come and then dig up the road and put down pipes. That's what they're saying. That makes sense. You putting down a road that's not very needed. There's no dirt road really on the main roads. There's some holes that needs a patch. But people don't have water, electricity, and proper cable and internet services. And your priority is $160 million for road. All right, so now they're negotiating after they start the roads. All right. For the corporation, that will include a Family Island non-revenue water program similar to the program that was successfully executed in New Providence. We are also collaborating with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Works and the Family Island Affairs on the public-private partnership road paving and water infrastructure project for Eleuthera. You're now negotiating that. Private partnership for road paving. Normally, public-private partnership means that the investor invests, the government invests, and then the private sector can make money back from that investment. So, for example, you have public-private partnership for a tolled highway, where the private entity will be able to make their money back because they put a toll highway in there that was very needed. We don't pay for roads here. So if you do a public-private partnership for the road, how do they get their money back? Someone explain that to me. But I leave that right there. Water road, water infrastructure. This project includes significant water infrastructure improvements and details shared recently by the Minister of Works and Foreign Affairs. Reform engagement. Contrary to claims, a town hall meeting was held in Governor's Harbor on June 27. The meeting was attended by etc. No one said that y'all didn't have a town hall meeting. I don't understand. I don't understand that. Okay, I'll leave that. 5, desalination plant update. On July 21st, Volunteers released a statement updating the public on the naval-based desalination plant. We can now provide updates. Perfect. As of yesterday, July 22nd, both desalination trains are now operational, producing over 450 imperial gallons per day. A new serial gallons per day arrived on site on Saturday, July 20th. This unit is now being installed and should be commissioned coming weeks. Once commissioned, existing desalination trains will be taken offline for critical repairs and maintenance to improve their reliability. Works will commence shortly on a new water pumping station for the naval base facility to improve the robustness and reliability of operations to meet water demands from all our customers in central Eleuthera. We urge public to discard the misleading claims and to rely on official statements. Water and sewerage officials remain water service. What misleading claims? And there was also a Guardian story, because this government always uses the Guardian to spread their misinformation. So anything where the government is involved, that the Guardian prints, don't believe nothing they say. All right. The Prime Minister is working hand in hand with Anthony Ferguson. So disregard everything that is said on the Guardian as relates to anything political or anything government involved. They're just to spread the government's propaganda and outright, in my opinion, lie. All right, so we don't have time for that. So now, you saw it for yourself. You saw the lies from the government. You can choose to believe it if you want to. That's on you. I'm sorry if you choose to believe nonsense, but again, that would be on you. All right. So let me see what's this. Yeah, that's the water. So that's the safe water they're talking about. With the red cap, that's them. That's what's coming out of your. And so I just wanted to put that forward to you. Now, there's also another document I have here. It goes through the whole thing, but it's basically there was a court case between the water company and Bahamas. All right, and of course, the government lost that court case. It was, I mean, the information in there is interesting. Basically, all that's being said, I'll just scan it for you quickly, and then I'll open the phone lines and read your text. Just give me 1 sec. Get back to where it was. Okay. Yeah, so I just want to share my screen so you could see this. Yeah, so basically right here is, there was actually a lawsuit in reference to this. The matter of the master agreement for the desalination water supply dated 12 August 2011. And in the matter of sub-agreement, desalination, so all of this stuff, between the Water and Sewage Corporation, Designs Limited. All right, and so the Water and Sewage was suing Aqua Designs, because Aqua Designs was basically shutting them down because they didn't get paid. All right, and so that's what is really going on. So so the application, so Ferran Bethel and Camille Clare was representing Water and Sewage, and Mr. McDonald, Alexio Knowles, the respondent. Alexio Knowles, okay, for the respondent. All right, and so basically they wanted to stop them from shutting it down, and basically all the case is saying is that the government wasn't paying. Aqua Designs was asking them to pay, and it was refusing to pay. So eventually, Aqua Designs just terminated the contract. And there was something in here that was so ridiculous. The government said, basically, you all say if your payment's late, you could pay interest. So we just have to pay interest. You have right to shut us down. That was their whole argument. And the government was completely preposterous for the Attorney General to even make that implication. And so I won't read this whole thing. I've gone through it. If you want me to make it available, I can actually do so. But I want to open the phone lines. So the phone lines are now open. 803-5995. 803-5995 is the call-in number, and also you can call by WhatsApp and by regular cell call. Now I'll take your text also, because they're in front of me. I'll take your text. So you can send me text with questions or comments or anything you want me to touch on. could we have had the system before he got into politics, Mr. Bain? I don't understand your question. Could we have had the system before he got into politics? Do you mean, did we have the same water system before clay sweeting was there, so don't blame clay sweeting for this? No, no, no. When you take over the responsibility of someone, if you tell me to fire the previous manager and hire you, I'm not interested in excuses about what the previous manager did. So, for example, Phil Jackson said that he had the triangle offense and he's a champion and he was coming to the Lakers and he was taking it over from Kurt Rambis, who was a champion Laker before when he was a player, but he was a horrible coach. And that I'm coming to the Lakers and I'm going to bring my skills. After a few months of Phil Jackson there, we don't want to hear him talking about what Kurt Rambis did. We don't want to hear him say, oh, well, Kurt Rambis didn't have the players in good condition. And we don't want to hear about the past. We fired them and hired you. So if you're taking on the responsibility, I don't want to hear anything about the Free National Movement. Not about them and not from them, especially because they are part of the problem. And so you can't tell me that 3 years later, in America, you only have 4 years. In Bahamas, they had 4 years last term. And this time election is next year, braved an open election period. So you should have been wrapping up. If this is so serious, and if, like you said in your prayer statement, this is so critical and important, the lives of Bahamians who have rusty water, when they do have water, if that is so important, how are we talking about this 3 years later? After you all have been partying, balling, and trying. Now you want to talk about, oh, it was there from the F&M time? And that's what he said in his little interview, that this has been going on for some time. If it's been going on for some time, you've been living in Eleuthera, you know it's been going on, the first thing you should have done was move ahead with getting this fixed. I'll tell you one thing. The minute I get in the House of Assembly, my first priority is the flooding problem in Pinewood Gardens. No excuses about what the PLP didn't do, what the FM didn't do. I couldn't care less. When we get in there, that problem is getting fixed instantly. Why? Because I know about the problem beforehand and I know what the solution is. So we don't want to be hearing 3 years in about the F&M and what problem was there before. It's a legacy problem. You knew about the problem. You live in Eleuthera, Clay. You live in Eleuthera, Sylvanus Petty. I'm reading your comments. And again, you can call in 803-5995. 803-5995 is the numbers, right? Let me see. Okay. Let me see what else to say. Anyone have any questions, comments, etc., or call in. He said these are 5 years to ensure the consistency concerns are addressed. Yet they drag their feet and do the bare minimum. Exactly. They own things that they can make money from. That's all they're interested in. Someone says, Lincoln Bain, when are you going to jail? Right after Philip Brave Davis, Chester Cooper, Michael Pintard, and the rest of them. In fact, I have been to jail many times fighting for the Bahamian people. Ask Philip Davis how much time you've been in jail fighting for you. Ask Michael Pintard how much fighting for you. Okay, that's a comment, right? Ask Chester Cooper how much time you've been to jail fighting for you. Ask them. Now ask, how much time has Martin Luther King been to jail? How much time has Mahatma Gandhi been to jail? They gave him a 7-year sentence. Yep, for making salt. When they made it illegal for Indians to make salt. Wow. You know any freedom fighter who didn't go to jail? Oh, Pinland went to jail. They love Pinland. Wow, in Freeport. Remember that? Interesting. Jesus went to jail. Every disciple that he had went to jail. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so for that political troll, it was normally on Facebook, I'm probably going to go to jail a few more times before the election, all right? So stay tuned, all right? Stay tuned. me just look at your questions. COI and nothing else. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. All right. Well, a vote for the PLB and after is a vote for the foreigner to take over the Bahamas. I agree with you 100%. 100%. Okay, let me move that comment now. So says he had his own little osmosis plant for decades. Yes, he has. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You are live.
What's going on? It's the prophet.
The prophet self. How you doing, man?
What? Yeah, man. What's going on, brother?
Right here, man.
Listen, wait. They don't never stop lying, brother. They don't let. They want us to believe now what you show us when y'all was on that planet. You may see.
Yeah, your eyes are lying you. Don't believe your lying eyes.
But listen to me. Let me tell you something. They talking about a bladder. So you see how y'all had to get in the whole tank. Y'all had to go through that little. So why you put a bladder in one of them tank?
I don't know.
That's impossible.
I don't know.
And if they had a bladder around there, y'all would have seen that because that would have been laid on the ground someplace with thousands of gallons of water in it.
Yeah.
And the fact that tank leaking, ain't no bladder in that.
No, man. Man, Clay Sweden and the ministry wouldn't lie to y'all like that, man. Come on.
If they want us to believe a bladder in that tank, and the water still leaking, so the bladder leaking, then the water comes to your house rusty. Man, these people have been giving you cancer for years in the Bahamas. One time ago, the highest cancer rate was in Louisiana at this point. But it's spreading all through the Bahamas now. You know what I get to realize? Wherever water and sewage in charge of the water in the Bahamas, giving the people cancer. Because of that type of water going through your faucet. So the little average man in Eleuthera got to buy water to cook them. Because that means if you can't afford water to drink, so you cook it with that water, you boiling that.
Wow.
So if they boiling that water, they still getting cancer.
Look how much stomach cancer, bladder cancer, and colon cancer is going around right now. It's an epidemic, and they're very aggressive.
Yeah, man, the government gave these people cancer, man. People, I always just tell them, you just can't trust nothing the PLB say. And what you see, they'll come back and try to make it seem like you even ain't see it. Please, Sweden got either lost Moses plan the front, he knows. So I ain't encourage other people in the Eleuthera to do that.
That's a serious thing.
These brothers cold, man. They is the devil himself. And if they like you always is telling me no Lincoln. Man, listen to me. If you love what you going through, continue working.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you have a right to vote to suffer. You have a right to that.
You understand?
That's freedom.
So, boy. And the voice in this now say, don't blame Clay Sweeten. Man, Clay Sweeten on the team, so he can get the blame. And they right, this ain't just happened on the PLB, and it ain't happened when the for them is in power that day. Let's go back from elections, man.
Wow.
This is for the 15-year problem. Let me tell you something. Let me go with this.
Mm-hmm.
They spending $160 million on the road like that.
Wow.
And then include a new water plant, all of those tanks, and probably 3 extra new tanks in the yard, concrete slab in the yard with everything on top of it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means the Bain people, if they pave in 160 miles, 160 million, I mean, that's $1 million a mile they charging them.
It's 110 miles, they say. It's 110 miles.
Well, I guess they charge a couple $100,000 a mile.
No, that's more than $1 million.
Oh, it's okay, more than $1 million. All right, then.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more than $1 million a mile. And Bain people is see. These people is overcharged them on every project in the Bahamas. The government is overcharged them.
Yeah.
You understand? Overcharge them millions of dollars. You think $18 million, you know how much $18 million, how much airport in the Bahamas $18 million can build what they say going on in Carolina?
And it's $1.5 million a mile that they're going to be doing in Eleuthera. That is ridiculous. That $18 million on that building that is 10,000 square feet, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. 10,000 square feet. That.
Well, I know. Go ahead.
That I'm gonna calculate it right now to let you know how much that is per square feet. So that's 18 million. That is $1,800 per square foot.
My Lord.
They must have diamond encrusted tiles in there and gold toilet bowls and Jesus. You build an old 4-day in life, you might spend $200 a square foot if they're really trying to hit you bad. You know, this is $1,800 for one little building, you know. And they're gonna have the raw necessities of it. They're gonna have regular tiling, regular wall, regular paint in under that building. And I found out that the foundation is only costing, the contractor paid the subcontractor $50,000 for the foundation. That's it. So how you get from, and the foundation and the roofing is going to be the most expensive part. How you get from $50,000, which sounds right, to $18 million?
The Bain people don't have to look hard to see where the government is being goosey in their mind.
Yeah.
Every project go down in the Bahamas, you could see they overcharge you by millions. These brothers just walk away with millions of dollars after they finish their 5 years Lincoln.
Yeah.
You understand? The sad thing about it, every government complex that ever built from Market, Hubert, Perry, Christie, whoever, you could go and see where they overcharge you by millions of dollars. If they was to call and show you the people, they'll be buckling and falling down all day. Plenty of them going to jail, you know, bro.
Only if we get it. The spin darting send them jail.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way.
But
See, you know what I say, Lincoln? Anyway, but I say it like this, bro. The Bain people got PLP up in the parliament, bro.
They have to.
They don't mean us nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, bro. Later.
Thanks for your call, man.
All right.
I want to share some. I didn't have time to upload it. I'm just going to play it to you from my device. 803-5995, 803-5995. Yeah. What happened was there was a contract for $2.5 million to do all the roads from one part of Eleuthera to the next, right? From the north straight to the south. $2.5 million was the contract they gave. So what the person did was they just did a piece of road in every settlement. They did a small piece of road. All right. Literally, if you go on Eleuthera, you're gonna see patches. So the two of the phones ringing. Okay, hold on one sec. You're calling number one. Hold on one sec. You're calling number two. And you're gonna see patches of roads right? That, and that's because the contractor, so he couldn't be sued. He just did he would do 100 foot of road in this settlement, 100 foot of road in that settlement. And as far as he's concerned, he did everything, and that's it. Don't question him. Let me go to the phone lines. Caller number one. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Caller, go ahead. Hello? Okay, I'll go to the second caller. We lost that one. Go ahead, caller. I can hear you. I'm good. How you doing? You get this volume up.
Yeah, man. Clay Sweeten.
All right, just hold the line, caller. Hold the line. Good night. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, me?
Yes, you. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You see what you did to Clay Sweeten? I want you to open your third eye on something.
Yes.
Who he run to, and I want you to see how he respond to whatever you expose. And the image, but he don't rally for nothing, man. You got to get out of that mode because you can keep dumping money. That's all the Bahamas doing. When you hire people who don't know how to manage your money, they dumping money.
Yeah.
You understand? And then that's an expense way beyond you. That can get passed on grants and grants. And here's what I say, what I noticed it long time, but let me say something on your platform. When you went to Eleuthera, you would only explain who's the first channel he run on? Like whatever they see that eyewitness news, right?
Yeah.
You ever see them press back on the stupidness he's doing?
Oh.
And that's what turning me off, because when I find okay, Watson was the fraud.
Yeah.
And you get this another reporter. She don't do nothing. She glorify one side. When he say, "Oh, we had this bill would come on to us," then she demonize the effort. But she ain't saying, "But okay, I see Lincoln saying you all got old times." You know what is rough? Put up what is rough and what rough can do to your body.
Yes.
It's
really bad.
You know it's rough to see water. That's like your toilet. You flush your toilet continue on running. Then you go onto the place. Or you have a leak under the ground, you go onto the light place. You used to pay, let's say, $60, your light bill becomes, your water bill becomes $160. You can argue that point straight to it. So it's the same process to human people. You got to argue what these people are doing. And this man from there, right? He's from there. Let's talk about when you go onto who's his number one cheerleader? Eyewitness News again. You remember when they were saying, "Oh, Clay's eating off the chain because he knocking down all of the." I was surprised when you go into that Haitian village and them houses them still down. And not only that,
they're doing that in every shanty town. They're pretending that they're breaking them down. They're finding houses for those persons first. And they are housing them, and in some instances, we were paying for the housings of the persons in the shanty towns. We were paying for that. Social services were getting them straight. They were sent to social services, and they were getting these people straight. All right, we heard that from people in social services, while Bahamians are suffering, living on the beaches, etc., etc. But I showed another shanty town in All Saints Way, I think it is, where they broke down the part of the road that you could see. Those houses there, left the whole thing behind with a whole coal kill going on in the back there, and they say government ain't bothered them.
But Lincoln, watch this. What I'm saying is, them people living so relaxed, and they going and children and this and that, and I see they have poles with what got power running to them and all type of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I want to show you something. They got a little documentary. You see what's going on in New York and Chicago?
What?
I want you to open up your you see what's going on in New York and Chicago, right? They have the immigrants when they flooding these places.
Yeah.
Who's the one who complaining? The Black Americans.
Yes.
The Black Americans say they getting replaced and these people replacing them for votes and stuff like that. See, I be on all of this talk.
Even in Miami, it's happening. We've spoken to the leaders, black leaders in Miami, and basically they are replacing the Black Americans with Black Haitians in many instances.
I watched it last night. The man was saying their jobs, because they don't, when they come over there now, you got the Haitians and the Dominicans and whoever else right there. They talking about the Black Americans like, oh, now the Black Americans them starting to rally back up on that.
Yeah.
And I bring that course on the Bahamas want to see. I gonna be on you. I gonna vote for you and things like this. But let me tell you why I say I wouldn't call us cowards, but I say what would it take? Give the Bahamian people a reason to start. I'm talking about the indigenous one. I ain't talking about. Let me tell you why. If you take the presidency, the government, why you have to make an example. And I pray you remember this before I hang up. Let me tell you why I say the significance is you have to chop off a head, which is Louis George. You see him go, he always talking about him and this, but he ain't stop us. He don't care about us not. But he went over to someplace else and he did a disingenuous thing to this country. And I think whatever he applied to this country should be revoked. Because when I see you walk through that village, it wasn't like no pressure, day-to-day pressure like what I have. Worrying about the light, rent, water, food.
Wow.
There was no pressure there, because when you walk, the little boy come out with a little soccer ball, they even different sports and things.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, why we never gone after none of our politicians who comes, who's supposed to say, oh, only thing you say is, I stand up for the great people of this constituency. But when you walk to the constituency, like I always say, you boiling out for Pinewood. I don't know Pinewood, I'm from Freeport, whatever the case may be. But I can tell you what's going on Pinewood through you, because now I say, okay, that's listen what you say. When you get into power, Pinewood ain't gonna have a flooding situation. That's somebody who, you sound like trying to say?
Yeah.
But I can let you go on. You think Clayson could go on Eyewitness News. He using that for a platform. So you know that's a PLP thing. I didn't get a question on nothing this morning. And I know this woman see this woman see what you get live.
Yeah, she watches every live. She's on here right now.
She see what you get live, and she ain't put no question. They tell you that it's an F and M thing.
Wow.
Let me leave this and I go on. PLPs, F&Ms, I don't care where the hatred comes from. I don't care how much you all mark this man or whatever. Look at what's going on. And not only the biggest threat, right in front of you in silence, who you on is higher every day. They in silence, but they number growing. And I always tell you, go back to the Bible. Be careful of who you let into your land. Those would lick your foot, you turn around and bite your hand. I leave you on that, man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, man. Caller, you're live. Go ahead.
This is Zario. I'm Vice President of the DUI.
Oh, how you doing, Zario?
I'm doing good. I'd like to shed some light on what's going on there with their water, because we don't need a Flint, Michigan experience.
Yeah.
In this country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the water in Flint, Michigan was bad, and it caused very serious health issues for the people there. Very serious health issues and death, etc. And we see an epidemic here, and they don't do proper statistics there, so you won't know when something serious is going on. But some people in Eleuthera were complaining about the cancer rate. That they feel Eleuthera probably is number one in cancer now. A couple of people data on that. But people are saying that they're affected by cancer, and you can see why that would be happening. And the fact that this serious issue is not addressed 3 years into this administration is shameful. And the fact that Pintard is supposed to be the opposition, championing for the people, and he is doing nothing and saying nothing. The same way we went there, and in a matter of minutes, we could see what the real problem was. Went there and said nothing about that. He went there, gave out some bottles and for photo op and left and gone. And didn't inform the people of what's going on. Didn't fight for the people. Didn't speak up for the people. Continue.
Because they don't love us. I mean, it's good few, but they put their hair off as the prime minister going on planes and talking about climate change, and if some people get killed from diseases like cancer.
Yeah, and he jumping on plane with Brave.
This can't be a real place. Thank you for taking my call, Mr. Bain.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, someone just put a good idea on here. Someone says go and test the water and sewage system. I guarantee you that people will be surprised. Jesus, we should have done that. We should have thought about that. We should have taken the water there and taken it to the lab to be tested. Can someone in Eleuthera watching this please get us a sampling of the water that's coming out of your tap, and let's get that water tested, please. Get a sampling of the water first and foremost, and then call me 803-5995. Or it's hard to get me when you call because so many people call me, so just send a WhatsApp. Send a WhatsApp and I'll get back to you on how we can get that done. But let's get a sampling, a good size like this of water. Don't drink it, don't touch it, don't let that water touch you, because that water is dangerous. But get a good sampling size, and then we'll take it the rest of the way. All right, let's figure out exactly what's going on over there, and let's do a real scientific test on that water to see what's going on. All right, so if someone is able to do it, that's your island. You got to get to me, get the water, and get to me, and let's get this done. All right. So I wanted to quickly show you, and thank you for the person online that made that comment. I was just going to show you the road to if someone else called in. Let's go to the phone line. Good evening, you're live.
Yeah, good afternoon, Lincoln. Good afternoon, Bahamas. Let me say this to the people in Eleuthera. Even though they have that big tank over there, what they about to the settlements and to the people so they could get water. They might be thinking, boy, look, could be on the eve of getting good water. But if they don't tend to those old rusty galvanized pipes put on the ground, if they haven't changed them over the period of years, they're going to end up having the same problem. Because the problem is still under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The same problem that Nassau had here up in the east, with rusty water running through those old
I remember.
dirty galvanized pipes. They will have the same problem. Thinking they're getting good tank, mind you. But when that comes from that tank and goes through those pipelines, when it hit their sinks and their bathrooms and their tubs to bathe, their water to bathe with, they will find out that brown water is still coming, rusty water is still coming through their homes.
Yeah.
With those old rusty galvanized pipes, and don't wait until the road has already been finished and then have to go back and dig up the road again. It's double weight.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time and a waste of money.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, go ahead.
People are paying for that. Yeah, the people are paying for that.
Wow.
That's our money. And see, if we don't get these low down, good for nothing, dirty politicians and prime ministers out of our parliament, the red and the black, whatever they is, this country will never see light of day in the years ahead if we don't get change in this country. And wow. I end with that right there.
Yeah, so thank you, man. I did a little quick research, and to build one of those water tanks takes from 6 weeks to 3 months to build. So for us to be 3 years in, and if they're really doing something fancy with testing and commissioning and all that, you add the testing, licensing, and all kind of stuff they add in, delivery and everything else, they say it could be up to 6 months. But 6 weeks to 3 months to build one of those tanks, based on my research just now. And so why this is 3 years in, legacy problem, knowing that it only costs about $500,000 to do this, we have to stop settling for mediocrity. The phone lines. Good evening, you're live.
Good day.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Lincoln?
Right here,
What's
man.
up, Bahamas? How y'all doing? Wanted to ask you a question. I don't know if we staying on the topic, are we?
Yeah, I would like to, but you can bear if you want to.
Okay. Well, this is my thing. Let me ask you a question, first of all. Let's say, God's willing, you do get power. Pertaining to the Crown Line in the Bahamas, what would you do to fix it? The reason why I say that is because there's a lot of little ropes and little twists to get Crown Line situated. And a lot of Bahamian people do have property.
What you talking about, Crown Line?
Yeah, not Crown Line. Sorry, generational property to get.
Because Crown Line is the easy thing. We are from the first week that after we have signed in, we are going to start letting people register to get their Crown Line, and we're going to start issuing Crown Line to the Bahamian people. That doesn't say anything. We are hiring the surveyors to go out there and make sure everything is mapped out, and we're going to start issuing land to our Bahamian people. Canada did it to make sure that America didn't encroach on land that they wanted to keep. They gave land to Canadians, and America did the same thing in the Northwest. So Canadians couldn't encroach on them and others couldn't encroach in. They issued land to persons to make sure they held on to their territory. And the fact of the matter is, we are being overrun by Chinese, Europeans, Americans, and Haitians who are taking all of the land. And if we lose all of our land, we don't have a country. All we have is the citizenship on paper, but we don't really own this land. And that is very important, and people are ignoring that. So for generational property, we are going to make sure that persons get title for generation property. Our slave worked and toiled and earned that with their blood, sweat, and tears, their sweat equity in that land. And the only reason they don't let us get title is because they don't want it to have value, because that would empower the people. We are going to empower our people. So we're going to give the crown land to our people where it's needed, and we're going to give the generation property and the commonage land to our people. That is a guarantee. That is a promise and a guarantee to the Bahamian people. It takes nothing from us to do that. And we don't want to hold the Bahamian people down like the F&M and PI who own our homes does, because they won't benefit from the crown land. So why let you get land to use as equity to build your house? No, they want you to be slaves to them. And we don't want that. We have no interest in our homes and these other building companies. So that is a guarantee that we're giving you this land to empower you. So no one can enslave you again. Go ahead, caller.
Right. See, I said that because a lot of the old people are dying out, and the younger generation don't even know the history of their land, where the plot is, or nothing like that. Because we just came to find out that we have a key in Exuma, and these white people was living on it, and they already had trenches. We just got them off. We just deal with the case and stuff like that. I won't call any names, say who was involved, because it is kind of deep, and it hasn't made the papers or anything like that. But we just, like about a month ago, we just got that sorted out. So we bought some property in Exuma, and because the other generation was already living on there, and everybody knew about it. Nobody knew about this key until our grandfather was the paper. Not our grandfather, my granduncle. He passed away last year. If he didn't show us those papers, we would have never knew that these white people was on this key. They showing us some paper. They showing us my father and my grandfather.
This is happening all over the Bahamas. I know of scores of Bahamians that are being disenfranchised with their land, their furnace, who are just taking land, houses, buildings. There's a lot of cases that I'm dealing with. Everything doesn't get to the forefront. But we are going to fight for all Bahamians who have been disenfranchised like that. That's a guarantee. I got to go call him. We'll see you later. Thanks for your call. I appreciate that. I want to end there tonight. I'm going to go get me some ice cream. That's my someone asked me the other day, what's your you got to have a vice, because it's like he's like, you know, you go on social media and people just attacking you, just making up stories. You know, how do you deal with it, seeing that every day? And you can see the stories as nonsense. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I asked his minions to spread this story that me and Pintard are making some kind of deal and working together with the F&M. And let me make this clear to you. And you can screenshot this and send this around. The day you see Lincoln Bain joins the F&M or works with the F&M, he is sold out. Vote for him. No way. Because there's no way that Lincoln Bain is going to work with the people who have been destroying this nation and raping and robbing us for all these years. The persons who sold our natural resources from us, who've been benefiting from our natural resources, and Brent, some of them who trying to come back and take Andres with their puppet Pintard. I will never work with a puppet. That will never happen. So they're going to spread a lot of lies. They're going to start also, remember I said this to you, they're going to start spreading stories and saying Lincoln Bain said that. Can you didn't say? But they know that a lot of people wouldn't have watched it, but they'll assume it's true. Try to get credible people to put that stuff out there, but trolls anymore. They're going to start saying, oh, Lincoln Bain said that. Can you believe he said that? don't listen to nothing they said, I said, unless you heard me say it. All right. They're going to start putting a lot of lies, etc., out there. And that's to discourage you. They're going to start painting us as rebels and that we're not fit to be in government. They're going to take old videos, like during the last election, he took an old video with me talking to Fred Mitchell, and where I told him he needed to find a woman. Is the devil, after he called me all manner of things. I won't even repeat these stuff that these vicious nasty stuff that he says. I just told him to go find a woman. I mean, I don't understand what's so bad about that. I think that will give him less time to be doing the mischief that he's doing. So, but they vilified me for saying that. I don't know why. But at the end of the day, they're going to try everything to make you feel like you should stay with the parties that are raping and robbing you. They're going to say everything to make you feel that way. They're going to lie. They're going to make up stories. They're going to say, I joined with Menace. I joined with Pinta. They're going to say, I joined with Brave. They're going to say, me and Murray, or me and Dr. MacGyver had a fight, or in a relationship, or they're going to make up all kind of nasty stuff to distract you. Let's not waste time. Let's focus on the fact that Bahamians can't afford to buy noodles. But Bahamians can't buy a full trolley of this country while they are benefiting and living off the fat of the land. Come on. People living on the beaches in this country. People can't get regular water and electricity. Lincoln Bain. And what I do, or come on, man. Come on. We got a country to save. And we are every day working hard. We're putting together the plans for Vision 2030 to show you the new Bahamas. We're going to continue to show you and focus on the new Bahamas. Someone said to me, oh, don't focus on them, the negative that they're doing. No. We have a responsibility to let you see this conductry that they're doing. We also put our vision out there, and we put ourselves in front of you every week, every Sunday o'clock, so you can ask us questions about our vision, about anything about it doesn't line up. We put ourselves out there, all right? Not just to talk about the negative that they're doing. We know they're doing negative, but we also put vision out there. Talking without talking about vision. And so that's important, all right? Someone said those tanks been there from the 1940s. Jesus. That's UBP. In fact, the UBP wasn't even formed yet. That's not even the UBP. All right. So, Jesus, the Queen put them there. Oh my God. Someone says, garden of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread. It's a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. Okay. I want you to check the price on those three things. When we come back, that's your homework. Check the price on those three things. A loaf of bread, I think it's now $5, something like that. I can't believe it because I don't really look at the prices. I looked at it the other day. 5 something with that. A loaf of bread, a container of milk. Milk is what now? $8, correct me. So that's let's say that's 5 and 8. Jesus, that's 13. What else we got? A stick of butter. I don't know how much butter costs. Anyone know how much butter costs? Anyone know how much butter costs? That's two items already, $13. Now let's put the butter in there. Anyone help me, please? Anyone know how much a stick of butter costs? Anyone? Stick of butter. Come on, help me. $3 for butter? Wow. $3.30. So we look basically at $16, $17 for 3 items. Jesus, $3.80, $3.35, $3.31. Jesus. Now there's advice, and you probably looking at butter is basically $5. Someone says. So 3. Jesus. and people still putting on red shirt and yellow shirt. See what the politicians do don't bother me. They making their money. They living good. It don't matter what the price of nothing is because they could just thief it from you. But the people who behind them is what I'm concerned about. That don't make sense. That don't add up. Oh. Talk to your friends and family. Educate them. Don't give up on them. No matter how crazy they are. Get them to watch their lives. Get them to educate themselves. Country in trouble. All the people who want to be third parties, y'all come together. All right? Third parties forming, moving. They're trying to make themselves relevant, so they go off by the PLP and FNM to be a spoiler. Because I don't think they expect to be able to win. Like, who's going to just vote for you? Just because you come out. But there's serious opportunity in that for them, like last election. Cassius and them did that. You just be the spoiler, and so you could try to take some of the COI votes. So there's money in that. And there's also money right now in attacking Lincoln Bain and the COI. So if you see persons like lives or a bunch of voice notes and all they're doing is focusing on Lincoln Bain and COI all day while this kind of part, they're not a serious human being. They're getting paid for that. All right? There's no other way to say it. Because it doesn't make any sense. You're focusing on us while they're affecting you. That makes no sense in any way possible. And so if you see people doing that, that doesn't add up. And lastly, if you see, let's say a supporter is out there and they make a statement and you see that person normally supports the COI or they're even using the COI logo and they love COI, and then to go from there to attacking the COI because an individual has an opinion or says something to you, that's ludicrous. This is responsible for anything a supporter says on social media. I don't think he's responsible to even go contact him and tell him to behave. That kind of thinking is kind of idiotic, and I think that's what persons would use because they're getting paid to attack the COI, and so they're trying to find some excuse. So they can't find anything with Lincoln them saying or any candidate or executive. So, this person say they on social media they support the COI. You see what they said? Oh, that's Lincoln them. We got to thank him because that person said that. That's a person who has an agenda and they're paid to do so. All right. And so I wouldn't blame Brave Davis for anything that any PLP supporter says on social media. That's kind of a psychotic kind of mindset to think that. All right. Now, if they are paid trolls, known trolls of the PLP, that's a different story. All right. So, but anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. We want you to continue this movement, continue to do what you can to make sure this movement happens. You can support with these links. That's the first link. That's a GoFundMe. And that's the second link. That's a direct to us. You can use a credit card. Assist with the movement. We're going to continue traveling. We're going to continue doing what we do best. We're going to continue defending the Bahamian people. I want you to know that we love you, and we're doing this for all of you. All right? It's not easy, but nothing that God is in is easy. And so we want you to continue. We want the young lions to rise up and join us. Young lions, rise up and join me. We can't afford to let these old people keep us in the past. I said this at our youth. Go and watch my last live and hear what I done there. Please go and watch that also. The reason they're so comfortable, the people leading this country are so comfortable with the way things are, is because that's how it was when they were young. When Brave was growing up in the 60s and 50s, they didn't have much water and electricity. Think about that. So there's nothing for him. They didn't have any cell phones. They didn't have internet. And so they're comfortable with that. That's the norm for them. They grew up with that. They could get back to that in no time. It's like jumping up on a bicycle and riding again. That's normal for them. They didn't have a problem toting water. That's normal for them. These old guys, brave and pintard in them. But this new generation, we have to build the Bahamas as for us today, in this generation. Ladies and gentlemen, I love this country. I'm unapologetically Bahamian. I believe in this. I would never apologize for being Bahamian or for standing up for Bahamians. I want to thank you. I'm going to get my ice cream now and enjoy the rest of my evening with those I love. And I just want you to know that I love you and I'm going to continue fighting. I'll see you again soon. We might have a live on Tuesday. I'll let you know. All right? See you soon.